Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hope you all had an amazing week. Here is a question, guys, to all of you, and please do share your thoughts about this in the comment section so that I don't know, maybe sometimes I'm a bit of overthinking on certain things and coming to a judgment, but again, I feel certain things might need sometimes, just a little bit of thought process before we say this is right and that is wrong, or whatever, however, certain judgments are done. Now, the whole thing is, as you can see from my caption, I really don't understand why certain people, not certain people, I probably many people, or there will be somebody in a group, or even we ourselves at some point in time might have glorified our sufferings, glorified our pain, just put it across as if we have, I don't know, sometimes it is just doesn't make sense of trying to show off your pain and the struggle that you have been through, and show it as if it's some sort of medal. I'm not sure, like, this is the whole thing. Okay, let me just first explain the incident which sort of got me to this conclusion, or this topic, or and coming down to a conclusion where I thought maybe this needs to be changed. Again, my perspective, you can share your thoughts in the comments once I have, you go through whole of this video. And the whole case came up, or the scenario came up once I heard, just overheard this conversation between two of our office heads. They are, they take turns and they work, like somebody will do the sweeping, then other one will do the mopping. All this cleaning things are handled by two slightly elderly females. And again, they have had their fair share of lot of struggles in life. And I just heard them discussing once, saying that today's kids, it was more like, they were talking, hinting more towards women. Today's women, or the girls and ladies, they don't want to adjust, they don't want to take any pain on themselves. Okay, and then they were like, you do you remember, back in those olden days, how much pain we took, how much struggle we had, how much we adjusted, and all this thing was like, just glorified and being said. They were like sort of showing as if they have done something really, really great. And since nowadays, so many people, I'll just talk in general about everyone, that generally, this again, my personal opinion, that you don't have to suffer at somebody else's hand, right? I don't know why that, for what reason that suffering, that immensely adjusting, that taking down that whole pain on yourself, maybe it's emotional pain, physical pain, wherein, in previous days there was a lot of domestic violence going on. It might be going on, I mean, it's definitely happening in so many places, even in today's era. But still, in the olden times, it was, maybe the frequency was really high and it was prevalent among larger group of people, irrespective of your social status as well, or even a financial status of the family as whole. And this thing, they just glorified, and they were talking about, and I think they were talking about a third person, somebody's kid or somebody's daughter or something like that, who had left his or her, something, she had left the abusive family, or something had happened and she had come back to her place. She's earning well, that's what I understood when they were talking. Just because she's earning, she's now showing off her, just doing that show off of not being able to take it, not being able to adjust. They call it adjustment. They call uh, accepting any sort of violence towards themselves as an adjustment, as a badge of glory towards trying to save a relationship. Yeah, that's what they were like, just trying to portray. I don't know, maybe they are born and sort of they are brought up with all that mentality that you are supposed to adjust, you know pain is a part of your life, struggle is part of your life, and if you have to struggle, you have to keep struggling. You don't have to find a way out of it. You have to adjust in that struggle, you have to adjust in that pain, you have to learn to live with that suffering. So there are people having such mentality even in today's world is a little bit of upsetting, I think. Irrespective of your gender, if you can get yourself out of any sort of mental stress, physical stress, any sort of abuse, any sort of trauma, any sort of violence, should be show, it has to be looked up to as something like, I think you have to glorify that. You have to glorify somebody being able to pick themselves out from a bad situation. I don't know why staying in a really bad situation was and even still is glorified in certain communities among certain people. And then whoever tries to come out from it, they look at that person in such a bad way, this is not good, this is not right. And yeah, this is something I just found a little bit of disturbing. I don't know whether, they are capable of understanding, even if you explain to them why it is important to break that cycle of suffering, why it is important that you don't put this same mentality onto your daughter or onto your next generation, saying that you have to always suffer silently because you have to make this work. I really don't know. Maybe I thought education will change certain things, but education is at one place which I have, time and again I'm realizing that education is at one place, and something that you learn at home, some of the moral values, some of your way of thinking, your character is completely shaped by different factors. Yes, education can show you the direction, it can tell you this is right, this is wrong, but at the end of the day you have to make a choice, right? You have to make a choice that do I have to blindly accept whatever certain things which are going on for so many years to be normal and continue myself doing that this is normal and I'm supposed to live my life this way, or make a choice of improving it, you know and I remember that one lady was telling the other one, what, I have told my daughter, whatever decision you make in life, whether you want to go for a love marriage or an arranged marriage, see that you'll have to get through it by yourself. You don't have to come back to me and tell that, this is the problem, this is the thing, or whatever. So that was again a little bit of upsetting because she's even teaching the daughter to do the same, like probably putting it in her head that you are supposed to live your life like this. If you get sufferings in it, try to adjust to the sufferings. If there is some sort of abuse, you have to adjust to that abuse. And that whole concept, this whole cycle, I just wish it just vanishes from the entire face of earth maybe, and people learn to glorify coming out of it. Make it teach the younger generation that it is definitely not okay living with such things. Again, this is irrespective of the gender. In most of these cases, it's usually like in the case that a woman is told to do or behave in a certain way. But again, there would be so many things wherein even the man has to or is being told about certain things. And this can then lead to the whole cycle of suffering, because you want to come out and show at the end of the day, I went through all this shit for so long, I didn't make any noise, so I'm great. I suffered so much, I went through so much of pain, but I made sure that this thing worked, that's why I'm great. I don't know whether all of this thing is great or not. But yeah, guys, this is the thing, we should make everyone very much aware about their own happiness. I always feel this is a very important concept. When you make somebody or you set up an example to somebody, especially to younger generation, that being suffering or enduring lot of pain without making noise, enduring lot of violence without raising a voice against it, is a great thing at the end of the day. I don't know, as a parent, what sort of good thing are you doing for your child or your children? And again and again, when you try to get your sufferings up and show it as a badge of honor, somewhere down the line, subconsciously, even the kids, will feel okay, suffering is normal. I have to suffer if I want to be great. There is quite, I don't know, you have to make this differentiation, Yes, there will be struggle, there will be some sort of pain if it is something of attaining your dream, or you're working towards something in your life to make it a big, maybe in your career, maybe in your business idea, anything which can take you to a next level, and then you're showing that struggle, that suffering of yours, whatever, in that whole journey, if you had anything which definitely comes along the way of trying to improve or take your any venture to a next level, that is one thing. But showing this sort of sufferings, sufferings coming from a bad relationship or enduring it for a really really long time and then showing it as an honor, you should know where you're supposed to draw that line, that struggle or whatever the pain that you endure during your growth journey or trying to attain your dreams, maybe studies, anything, it can be anything, that is a different thing. Yes, that you can maybe glorify saying that. Just an example, I have put in like 10 hours of studies, maybe, in attaining, getting through this certain exam. And 10 hours is like a little bit of, you have to struggle over there, not little bit, depending on your capacity, can be anything. But yeah, showing that thing as a struggle is one. But teaching somebody to take something wrong from somebody else and go through it very quietly and then showcase it at the end of your lives, like maybe towards your 50s and 60s, there's something great that you have done. I don't see a sense in that. Again, it depends on which part of the society you come from as well and how your whole surrounding is. But yeah, try to change it. If you know somebody around, who has some children, or there is somebody who is very young and somewhere down the line stuck in such a family, somewhere down the line stuck in such a mindset, wherein, oh, I have to save something, I'll have to struggle a lot. It's usually a relationship, and to make it work, because society needs to see it as a badge of honor, then maybe they need to rethink. uh, Again, it's a personal choice. Nobody can say what you're doing is right or wrong, but something that can put you down is never right, I feel. Something that can spoil your peace of mind is never right. Something that is hurting you physically or emotionally is also not right. So yeah, everyone, I hope everyone does a wiser choice, especially the older generations. Try to imprint good things about pains, struggles, sufferings to their younger generation, and not to portray that all this abuses are right. Okay, so maybe someday I hope all these changes come. Okay, I'll leave you all with this for this particular weekend. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next week. Till then, bye bye.